Alright guys, we're going to go over some tips and strategies for workout 13.4. First thing is, you guys all know what the workout is, and what I say with all of these is that these tips and strategies might not, they're not going to make up for a loss of or better fitness, but they can give you those extra few seconds, a few extra reps, and in the open we know a few extra reps can make all the difference. So let's start with the wall balls, 150 wall balls carrying. There's a few things here. First, starting off with the standards. The standard is briefed as you start from below parallel. It's not from a stand. So what that means is, for the first rep, and every time you take the ball off the ground, the most efficient way to do that is to pull the ball up. And you're ready to go. You don't need to stand it up and then come back down. Waste of time, waste of energy. So that's the first thing. Ball comes underneath here, and we do our wall ball from there. Next thing is, you guys can see this line I drew on the ground. This line is a good thing, especially if you're shooting to a target with no wall. But even if you are using a target on a wall, it's a good idea to draw a line underneath you. As you get fatigued, you start missing the wall, you think it's just because you're fatigued. But the truth is, more often than not, it's because you've moved your feet and now you're throwing it straight up, or you're throwing it from real far away. This gives you a reference point for every rep. So draw a line on the ground. The next thing is, when you start to get tired, and I think it's even before you get tired, when you're doing your wall balls, don't leave your hands up in the air waiting to catch the ball. Leave your hands up in the air for 7 minutes is tiring in itself. We don't need to do that. So a better thing to do is, as you come up, drop your hands and back up. And you notice I'm catching the ball directly underneath my chin every rep. The ball's not coming out and away from me, and my elbows aren't flared out to the side. Elbows underneath, just like we do in the front squat. Elbows underneath, the ball as close to my chin as I can, so it stays close to my center of mass, that frontal plane that we talked about. So drop the hands, relax them, come back up, and catch it right underneath. When you catch it, it's not a catch and pause, and then down, absorb the landing and speed it up. And that's really how you make up time in the wall ball, is by catching it on the way down. I think that's it for the wall balls. Let's talk about the rep scheme. So for the rep scheme for the wall balls, come over here, I wrote it on the board. The rep scheme, and this is a starting point for people. So we're not saying this is the right place for everybody, but this will give you a 630 carry, and it works really well. What we suggest is 50 reps, then the next set, you cut down in half. So if you've done 50, the next set is half of that, you do 25 more to 75. Then you basically cut that down to about 3/4, and we do 15, and then you settle into 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. If you measure the rest, and it's 10 seconds between every single one, that gives you a 630 carry. That's a good place to be. Another 90 seconds, you have plenty of time to get your muscle-ups in. If you are a beast and you can outdo this, my suggestion is you still hold these, but you turn these into 15s for as long as possible. Manage the 15-second rest. The 10-second rest in between, and that gives you a 630 carry. You go a little bit over, a little bit under based off of your abilities there. Double unders are the double unders. The big thing with the double unders is we want big sets. So you try and relax it a little bit. And if you start messing up, don't just fail and fail and fail. Come off and take the rest. When you come off the wall balls, allow yourself 20 seconds, a full, legit, real 20 seconds, so you can bang off one big set and hopefully get those things unbroken. From there, we move on to the muscle-ups. And the muscle-ups are kind of what they are. They're the muscle-ups. But one of the things that you can control in your gym is how long the straps are. Unlike the regionals or the games where it's just a set standard and all the athletes are the same. The shorter the straps, the easier the muscle-ups are. So instead of going from what we have them all the way hanging up at the rafters, we're going to try and stay away from those as much as we can, and instead we're going to use them off the pull-up system. And it's much shorter straps. And the shorter straps, the less the frictionless plane you have. An even better option, if you are really short, is you can set these things up inside the low pull-up system. And we have a lot of our shorter females try it here and get their first muscle-ups. You can hang, and they'd have to be a little bit shorter than I am. They hang and bend their knees a little bit, and they get their muscle-up from there. If you don't have the option for a pull-up system, and you have to go off the ceiling, you can essentially bring the floor up to you, and that shortens up the straps. The way you do that is you can stack up a plyo box, and go off of the plyo box, and set yourself up there. And essentially that shortens up the strap. You see how much shorter those straps are than they would be if I was on the ground. It makes it a little more efficient. There's 13.4. Go get it.